Yeah, YouTubers, Tazman here, bringing you another episode of Learn JavaScript with Foundry VTT. In our last episode, we started talking about arrays. We don't need this one here anymore. Let me just remove it. So anyway, we're going to continue on that. This might go 2 more episodes, maybe 1, I'm not sure. Depends on how fast we can get through things. But with how fast of a typer I am, probably 2. All right, so let's get going. We're going to go back into arrays. And I was just thinking I might want to change the name of this and type and ARRY, actually basic ARRAYMETHODS, because we're going to go over some of the basic array methods as well. Some very basic ones. We'll get into more detailed methods later on, but right now that's all we're going to do is some basic ones, just because that's about the level we're at. All right, so in our last episode we talked about arrays. We got here, we talked about creating arrays using the new array, which is not as common and stuff. And then we played around with our array, getting the array length, showing how you can always get the last item and stuff like that. Now what we're going to do is do a little bit on arrays. I want to go grab, don't I have any console logs? I have this one. We're going to go grab, come down here. Actually, I have one right there. V, and this will just be a plain console log. And there we go. That'll just give us our space. So we're going to talk about multi-dimensional arrays, and that's basically an array with an array inside of it. The easiest way I can think of to kind of describe that is if you think of Minecraft and the crafting table. It's 9 squares, and there's 3 across and 3 down. So that would be considered like a multi-dimensional array. We have 3 rows, which are 3 arrays, and within each of those we have an array of 3 items, which would be the 3 actual ones in the row itself. And hopefully, if that doesn't make sense to you, hopefully this will. Now we're going to start. I need to go. Oh, it's right there. I'm going to copy and paste because you guys know I'm a slow typer. But as you can see up here, we created this array right here, which was basically showing all our different items. And here we go, making it so now we can, have them all in an array, and instead of having to do item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can just access those elements. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to paste one from my notes that is a multi-dimensional array. And to help you understand it just a little bit more, I'm actually going to put carriage returns where the array elements might be. And as you can see, if we were to look at this, say like in Minecraft, as we were just saying, let's just do a quick sample. If I went like this, and each of these I just created, maybe let's just call that slot 1, slot 2, and slot 3. So that would be the top of the crafting table right there. Then we would have 4 and 5 and 6. So maybe this is helping you actually be able to see a little bit more what I'm talking about, although I messed up right there. So right here actually is our second array there, and then this would be 7, 8, and 9, and then this we could just push enter there. So here you can see we have an array, and within it we actually have 3 arrays. So this is basically a multi-dimensional array. And if you think of Minecraft, if I'm creating a pickaxe, I put a block here, a block here, a block here. a stick here, and a stick here, and that will craft an item if it matches. So this is what Minecraft is doing, is basically when you're putting things into your crafting table, it's going to see if there's a pattern of an array that matches that, saying here, you know, like a block, either a cobblestone or whatever, and here we have our stick, right? And this in turn, and this is empty, this is empty, this is empty, and this is empty. In turn, if it finds this pattern, it will know that that is a pickaxe. So that hopefully helps understand a little bit better what a multidimensional array is. So here we have a multidimensional array of actual, let's back on that too, of our items. And what I was thinking is a real good thing with our weapons. For example, we have a short sword, a long sword, and a maul, and each of them have a versatile damage, which is that one, and then also the damage type. Now, JavaScript doesn't care if we have these comments in here. It doesn't care if we actually do them all just like this, or if we have them all in a line. Just whatever is easier for you to actually read is fine. So if we actually went like this, and then space, and space, and space, and then hit enter here, and go back, or this. Whatever's easiest is fine in Java. It doesn't care about the spaces. So here we have 3 weapons. We have a short bow, a long sword, and a maul. We have their damage value. We have 1d6, 1d8, and 2d6. We have, if versatile, if there is a versatile attribute to it, we would have a cell right here, which is, in this case, with the long sword, is 1d10. Mauls and short bows don't have those. And then we have the damage type, which is piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning. So if we wanted to go look at this array now, we could actually go do our thing. Let's just grab this guy, Control C, go and Control V here. I'm going to go and put a bunch of carriage returns right here, and we're going to call this weapons, E-A-P-O-N-S, and it's going to be, I think it was just called weapons, right? Yep, weapons, W-E-A-P-O-N-S. Now if we go look at this, we'll actually see the two-dimensional array that we were just talking about. So we'll go ahead and execute, and here we can see we have an array, our weapons array, which is 3 in size. So there's 3 elements in the main array, and each of those elements is an array of 4. So there you go, you can see it right there side by side, or we can expand them to see. Now you'll notice that each of these also, just because they are arrays, have that length property. So we can actually query within any of these what the actual length of that internal array is. We would just do, where is it? Weapons, bracket 0 for the short bow, 1 for the long sword, 2 for that, and then we could do a dot length after that. So we could actually find out how big the array is there. So looking at everything we've basically done so far, I don't think we need to really go into great detail. Maybe we'll go ahead and do one right here. Let's say we want to know the versatile damage for a longsword. So what we could do is maybe do console.log, and let's do this as a string literal, and we'll say the, and we want the long sword, so we know that this is going to be element 1 in the main array. So we'll do WEAPONS bracket 1 bracket, but it's not the actual, if I do this, it's going to return this entire array. So inside that we want bracket 0. So we'll do bracket 0 bracket, and this will now say, although I did this part wrong, let's go ahead and do string. Does this work? I don't remember if this one worked. Oh, beautiful, it does. So now we're going to get the longsword does, and then we'll go ahead and get our slashing, which is 2. So we can grab this exact same thing here, C and V, and change this to 2 because that's the inside one. And then right here we can say does versatile, versatile. Is that how you spell that? Versatile. I don't know. D-A-M-A-G-E. So now if we go look at this and we execute it, we will see the longsword does 1d10 versatile damage. So that is basically how you do it. And you could, even have an array within array within array, and have more of, as an example, a cube. So now you have the width or the row and the column. Now you also have a depth. So you can actually do that as well. You would just tack on yet another little bracket set. Rarely do you see, say, a 3-dimensional array, unless it's very specific for a reason that you want to do it. Usually two dimensions will usually cover everything you need. Okay, whoops, we just stuck an S in there, which would end up giving us an error. So now let's talk about some basic methods. And basically, these methods are ways to either add or remove elements from the beginning or the end of the array. And there's 4 of them. There's one to add to the beginning, one to add to the end, one to remove from the beginning, one to remove from the end. And by remove, I'm saying it actually removes the element itself. It doesn't just leave it empty. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and create, and I'm just going to copy and paste because once again, it'll be a lot quicker. But we will go over what we're doing. Control V there. I hit the wrong button there. Control C. So let's go ahead and say BASI basic array methods. And maybe up here we'll go ahead and say right here-ish. Say multi, multi, dimental. Is that how you spell it? AREYS. All right, so I'm going to paste in my code and then we will talk about what it is. So here we have an array of inventory items. And I haven't gone into such details, say, as, the weapon, the damage, and stuff like this. This is a little less. Where we're actually using our multidimensional array is, for example, where we have quantities, consumable items. Water skin, technically, it's kind of like rations in the water skin. It gives you 7 days worth of water, which is weird because it gives you 10 days of rations or whatever. So if you look at this, up here, we actually have those same things. We have 20 bolts, we have 10 rations, and we have 10 uses of the water skin. So actually, let's change that to 10. So this is our inventory right here. And you'll see, oh my gosh, I keep hitting that thing. So here, let me just see real quick. This doesn't look right because I have a bracket there. Oh, and a bracket there. Oh, because I have items, and then I actually have a couple arrays within the array. That's why. Sometimes it really does help to lay those out more vertically like this. So you can actually see, yes, this array, and then indents. That's the close for that array. This is the close for that array. These are the contents within. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our different things. So trying to think if I don't think we need this. Technically, I don't think we need this one. All right, so let's talk about our first thing. It's called push. P-U-S-H. And what this does is push an element into the end of the array. So at the end of the array, it will push a new element in. So if I have an array that goes 0 to 4, which is a 5 length array, it will actually push it in element number 5, turning it into a 6 element array. And we're going to push another item in here. So we're going to do push to add to end of array. All right, so the way we do this is we would simply say inv, right? So if we want to push it, push to our inventory array, we use inv, which right here is inv, just in case you didn't see that. And we're going to go ahead and push. Let's push a healing potion. So what we do is it is a method itself. So we're going to do .push, and methods are marked with their parentheses. So what are we going to push into this? Now, a thing to also note is when I push something in, it is going to return. It's always going to return something. And in this case, it returns the new length of the array. So when I push something into that's P-U-S-H. When I push something into the array, it's going to return this value right here, which we will see in just a minute. So if we go, I'm trying to think maybe the best way. Let's assign it a value. Let's say P-U-S-H-E-D, pushed, and we'll do a const. Why is there a space there? Go home, back, C-O-N-S-T. So we're going to create a variable called pushed, and we're going to assign it the new length of the array. So now if we go ahead and say we're going to add a healing potion, so if we look at our thing here, it looks like if we want to stay with our standard, we actually do our number and then our description. It could go either way. So we're going to say 1, and we're going to say HEALINGPOTION. So it's not going to give us this. It's going to give us the new length of the array. So we know our array right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 long, right? We haven't ran it yet, so I guess we don't know. Maybe we'll keep this up so we can do some looking back. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go output console.log, and let's do it. How do I want to do this? New length. So we say new length, and then we could do this and do pushed, P-U-S-H-E-D, and this, and then inside of here, actually we'll go ahead and do a comma here, and then we'll go ahead and do our env. All right, I think that should be good. So let's go ahead and look at this. So what this is going to do is with our new array, it's going to push at the very end. After longsword, it will push this our healing potion. And sure enough, now you can see our array is now 8 in size. And you know what? I did it wrong. That's why it's 8 in size, because I actually pushed 2 items onto the array. We actually want to push an array for our healing potion. Now if we execute that, we should get 7. There we go. So now you can see element number 6 is now a number 1 and a healing potion. So that is how you can push things onto the end of the array. let's go ahead really quick and we will push something onto the the beginning of the array. Why is everything tabbed in so far? All right, Control C and Control V. So we'll do that. And I'm going to actually just copy this. Control C there and a little Control V there. And the next one is called shift. I believe. No, it's U shift. Unshift. Hold on just a second. Let me look at my notes. It's unshift. So unshift. Now, why it's called this, I have absolutely no idea. But it is UNSHIFT. And basically all we will have to do is change pushed, or not pushed, I mean push into unshift, UNSHIFT. And this will add something, and let's see, let's add maybe a key. Not a new array, we'll just add a key. Like a silver key is what I have in my notes. Be a lot quicker. SILVER key. So now we're going to change this because we did a const on push. We're going to call this UNSHIFTED, unshifted. And this is not going to be push. This is going to be UNSHIFTED, unshifted. All right, I think that's all good. And unshifted is also going to return the length of the array. So let's go ahead and execute that. And here you can see, here it was before. We have our healing potion at the very end. And if we do this one, you can see now we have a silver key at the very beginning and our healing potion. Well, let's say we use our healing potion and now we want to remove it from the array because it's no longer in our inventory. How long? We're at 22. This is going to be a 30-minute episode, but actually there's another two. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go over these other two. So the next one we're going to talk about is how do we get something off the end of the array. So if we want to remove an element from the end of the array, what it's called is pop. So it's going to pop it off. Now that one kind of makes sense. Push makes sense. Pop makes sense. Unshift does not make sense to me. So this is going to, I should probably put up here, maybe just a little note. I'm going to go ahead and say PUSH and UNSHIFT RETU return the new LENGGTH of the, that's not how you spell the array. And now we're going to talk about pop and shift, which are basically the opposites. So we'll go ahead. Wow, I did not spell that right either. Length. And go back and V right there. Whoops, I guess I didn't have both of those. So push, so this will be pop and shift. And I didn't hold shift. I didn't hold shift to do shift. And what these two return is return the ELEMEN element REMOVE removed from the ARAY. So these are going to return the actual thing that was removed from the array, which if you think about it does make sense to remove from the end of V-A-R-A-Y. Did I do this right? To add to the end of the array, I just have to add to the beginning. B-E-G-I. My goodness, I fat finger this. Of the array. Okay. So this is to remove element, E-L-E-M-E-N-T, element from the end of the array. And I'm just going to go add our comment in here real quick for the other one, which is shift. That way we can do it a little faster. And then shift to remove element from the beginning. B-E-G-I-N-N, gosh, beginning of the array. All right, and basically what we need to do now is well, basically these are actually really easy to write. So we're going to do const, we're going to do const and popped. So we're going to popped, and basically all you have to do to get the very last element is to say inv in this case, because that's our array, and do pop, and it's that. This will grab the last element of the array. And if we go do this, actually that's fine. We'll put this here. R-E-M-O-V-E-D-E-L-E-M-E-N-T. So in this case, it's going to remove our healing potion, and it's going to remove the array that we've done. So it's going to remove the 1 and the healing potion. So everything within element number 7. And then let's also just go ahead and do Control C there and hit back, Control V there, and we'll go S-H-I-F-T-E-D, shifted, and that means removed element. We'll just do shifted. Oh, I got to do popped, P-O-P-P-E-D. And I already did that one, and then we just have to do shift here. So they're identical as far as what you need to do. S-H-I-F-T, like so. And I believe that should be everything. So let's go and clear our array, clear our console, and come here. So here we can see that we removed 1 healing potion. And you'll notice it returns it not as an array, it returns it as a string. So that is kind of important to remember, that what it's returning will be a string representation of what was in it. So if it's a number, it should return it all in a string, and it will be comma delimited. So if you use, which we'll get in later, methods for actually what's the word I'm looking for? To remove the commas and put a space there, or assign elements for each one. I can't remember the word I'm actually thinking of. We'll talk about it later. It's called splicing in JavaScript. But it's basically where you take like a CSV or comma separated type file, and you're basically parsing it, and anywhere there's a comma, you say, okay, between the commas is going to be our elements. So if I wanted to recreate an array. So that is an important thing to remember, that if you're popping an array off or shifting an array off of it, it will be just a string representation of that array. All right, whoops, didn't mean to do that. And then here you can see that took us down to 7 elements. So if we go in here, we can see healing potion is now gone. Now we've gone through the dungeon, we found the chest, and we put in the silver key, and now you can see we don't have a silver key anymore. So those are how we add and remove elements from the beginning and the end of arrays. In our next episode, we're actually going to be talking about finding locations of an item in an array. And there's two ways to do this. And I think, yeah, we're at 30 minutes. I was right on with my guess. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do so hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. Oh, actually, I know why all these were tabbed in. Because I'm a dummy. Technically, that's not right. All right, I'll fix that later. It's not a big deal. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. Don't forget to tell other people about my channel. Check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. It's a win-win-win-win situation. So, yeah, that's it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.